really appreciate, guys, all the comments that we're receiving on some of the clips that we're putting out on Instagram and TikTok.
Freaking happy,
we are
guys.
so grateful for you guys for engaging with some of our content. And I'm not saying we're always going to get it right on everything that we say, but we love having these dialogues, and that's what we endeavor to do here. We are Shishyas, and we love communing with other Shishyas out there. The clip that we put out about appropriation got a lot of feedback. Most of it, all of it was overwhelmingly positive. People were just responding and saying, hey, thanks for talking about this. Help me think about things in some different ways. Of course, we also did get some pushback from some people. I get that you're not comfortable with people who are doing dharmic practices, Hindu practices, let's say, and they're not giving the attribution that you want. Maybe they're not using the Sanskrit words that you want. I get it. It can be annoying. And I understand why the source of that annoyance is actually because India has been dragged for about a millennia now, right? Hindus in general have been beaten upon and subjugated and humiliated for about 1,000 years now, right? I totally get it. And now you see people taking our shit and using it and acting like this is theirs. It's like, no, this is us. We come from a very advanced civilization, and we feel a bit of a desire to assert that, hey, no, we are the shit. We are amazing. We've provided calculus to the world, algebra, linear algebra, the highest advancements in mathematics and astronomy, and also in ways of talking about the self and mental health and things like that, right? I get it. Believe me, I understand it. But frankly, I don't see the appropriation having that much damage, right? I read Sam Harris, and at first I was annoyed by this guy. He called himself a secular mystic, and then basically started spouting off basically stuff that you're reading in the Yoga Vashishta, stuff that happened over close to 2,000, 1,500 years ago, right? Upanishadic thought, things like that. But then I started reading him more, and he actually gives attribution. He's like, actually, you can see all of my thinking has been informed by the East, where they are way more advanced than we are in the Abrahamic religions. And I really don't see that much harm being done. I really don't, okay? People who point to things like Christian yoga, those are not widespread or popular practices. And the reason why is that Christianity itself cannot withstand dharmic philosophies. It does not. Practicing yoga while thinking of Jesus just makes you a Christian Hindu. That's all it does, right? As you meditate and you regulate pranic energy, you come to realizations that are simply not compatible with Abrahamic doctrines. That's all it can do, is dissolve away those philosophies and allow you to kind of get into thinking about things the way that we are thinking of them, as we're discussing in things like the Yoga Vashishta and Upanishads and stuff like that. My advice, though, to Indians, to Hindus who are upset by these things, be like Bruce Lee. Be like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is the ultimate rishi, modern rishi to me. Bruce Lee was a guy who is a force of spiritual creativity. Okay, he took his traditions of Wing Chun Kung Fu, generations of gurus, lineages, right? He streamlined and systematized them into Jeet Kune Do, right? The way of the intercepting fist, which honestly is the forerunner to modern MMA. Who is our Bruce Lee? Right? If you want to get mad at Wim Hof or Andrew Huberman or any of these people, Sam Harris or whoever, be your own, right? We need to find our ways of pushing the Dharma forward, right? If it matters to you that Westerners aren't using Sanskrit terms or aren't wearing tilaks on their foreheads, I have to confess that does not concern me personally. It just doesn't. You need to get off the sidelines, stop complaining, and start promoting these practices on your own, okay? But anyone versed in Vedanta will tell you identity is a poison which binds you. And it's time to start thinking about the future of Dharma rather than clinging on to the Nam Rup, the names and shapes of the past that constitute this identity of who we are, and all of the mental anguish that we're inflicting upon ourselves by other people doing our practices, right? The Yoga Vashishta, which we've been talking about nonstop now, right? This is now 8 episodes in. We're talking about the Yoga Vashishta. That's a radical reformist text. These are people pushing the Dharma forward, right? Taking it all the way from the Vedas, all the way into the Upanishads, all the way. Shankaracharya, right? Advaita Vedanta, that is something that acted in dialogue with other emergent dharmic traditions of the time, Shramanistic traditions of Buddhism and Jainism, to crystallize itself as a coherent metaphysical system in response to those, right? So you need to be doing that work as well. Who's pushing it forward? You know, Indians are a demographic that are so steeped in STEM education, right? Are we using that profound knowledge of the material world to deepen our metaphysical understanding of reality, to refine our methods of achieving liberation, that is the task ahead of us. That's what we should be doing. Not complaining about other people doing these things or taking our ancient traditions, but us being the tip of the spear, moving them forward with our own developed understandings of the natural world. And I just want to say in closing, listen, the first culprits that we have to face in this struggle is ourselves.
Well said. And all I'll say to that is dharmic people don't always look brown. And they haven't always looked brown. There's a huge history of Southeast Asian dharmic philosophy.
100%, dude.
They would have pronounced things differently. They would have practiced things differently. But it's the dharma that matters at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Not the identity.
Exactly. And the more and more you want to get into these kinds of identity politics with things, it's like, how fractured is it going to get? You know what I mean? Because now it's going to be, hey, this is my system from this one village where I'm from. And people are like, no, the point is to move these things forward. Okay? The point is to move these things forward. And to proliferate them and to find, again, dharmic futurism. Let's get cozy with that concept of dharmic futurism. Okay, we need to think that's what we're about here on Shakti Punch, and we want other people to be about that as well as thinking about what is the future. The future is dharma, right? And we need to do the work to continue to refine dharma to be able to meet these challenges of the future. That's it for now.